今天我们和 BLG 对阵的话，我们必须要把这一分拿下，为了我们进季后赛。今天我和 Chapton 这位选手对战的话，他是一位比较偏运营的选手，我比较偏进攻。我觉得我们交战的话，看当时的比拼去决定这局的胜负。
Too right.
Huh? At what moment?
I don't know, he just said a moment, but I have to assume it was that one in that game one where he just blasted them in the jungle.
Ah, yes, the predictive video. He said at the moment where he wins game one, he wants to make sure that Chieftain gets benched. That was the... no, I actually don't know what moment he meant. I know what he meant, though.
I was like listening to it, and he was just like, in that moment, I was like, what moment? But I mean, like, yeah, he beat him so hard, he benched the enemy jungle, so...
Yeah, I know what he did mean, though, because he is a more aggressive player. That means the early game, when there's lane management's in question. Can he catch him before the lane managements happen? Is it early game pressure that he gets the 1v1s? Because in that last game, World 6 pretty much assassinated him in a 1v1. He did play very well around his opponent. And unfortunately for World 6, his opponent has changed in this one, but we can't fault the player of the jungler of OMG himself.
That's true, yeah, 100%. It is Minghua coming in for the jungle here for BLG, and Athena has woken up. It's back into the mid lane here for BLG as well. Now, I think a couple of us were expecting this to potentially happen. The fact that I feel like Mole and Chieftain, the ripple effect from the early game was big for them.
Yeah, I mean, we even said it during the game. That was a ripple large enough for us to make assumptions, such as the coach changing out 2 of their players just because of the performances from them. Because even, like, whilst Chieftain did influence Mole's lane, Mole individually was not performing to his best either.
Yeah.
And I think just a refresh, a reset, and a new player coming in can do a lot of stuff here for BLG and their momentum.
Yeah, it's funny too about momentum though with BLG, because I feel like they came off a lot of momentum coming off their EDG set, and then he came into the Rogue Warrior set. Yes, they didn't win that set, but they actually looked pretty good in that set. They took a game, right? Yeah. And then coming into this one, it's like, well, that was still, you know, Chieftain and Mole doing a large part of that. So talking about, like, you know, gaining momentum and then resetting momentum is very interesting.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, BLG are always a momentum-style team as well. If you can get them rolling, they'll continue to roll, but anything that halts that momentum, that thwarts that momentum, can slow them down significantly. What's interesting about that is that Athena and Minghua coming in isn't exactly a momentum builder. It is an anti-momentum stopper. So they wanted to stop the ball rolling down the hill away from them very quickly. So they have changed 2 members, and ideally they can turn it around. If Minghua and Athena can win a game, that's when the momentum actually starts from them.
Yeah, last time I casted Minghua, I was like, it means like noodle something, right? And Clement was like, no, it means cotton. So it's yeah, it means cotton. We have a lot of interesting translations in the LPL. Because of course, you know, usually it's the pinyin.
Yeah, we don't actually know what they mean
until we're told. For example.
Yeah, we have cotton, we have toothpaste in our league.
Yeah. Mao just means cat, so when you have like Lu Mao, it's like something cat.
The cat laning with cat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Against cat.
Yeah.
We have the English version of cat. We have cat.
That was the one I meant.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So he's a good one. And then, of course, you know, all of the Koreans with their names, they have to have the really cool English name.
Flawless.
Yeah, except that he capitalized his L.
Yeah, that's why I emphasized the less.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just, he chose to do that recently, though. That's a weird one to me. Why would you, if your name is Flawless, decide to capitalize the L? But we speculated some reasons. We don't know the actual
emphasis
one
on the L, because he gives them the L. You know what I mean?
I just think that maybe it looks cooler.
Yeah, yeah, that was your reasoning. Yeah, I remember now, yeah. Because, like, of course, you know, we look at symbols from, like, Chinese, Japanese, Korean, whatever it is, and we're just like, hey, it's a cool symbol. And it's like, yeah, it means caterpillar. And we're like, oh. You know, but, like, on the other side, it's like maybe L capitalized just looks way cooler than just a straight vertical line. You ever thought of that? No, you haven't. Because you're watching an English broadcast and you're English. Probably.
I mean, like, I like Fu from Japanese because it looks like Mount Fuji, and I was like Mount Fuji. So things like that. They're like, if I was to play in the LJL, I would have that in my name in some way.
Oh, and Clement in the Culture Shock, he told us how to pronounce it as well. It's pronounced FU.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Believe it or not, the letters FU together make the word food. Thank you for that insight. Even though that was in Chinese Pulse. So, well done.
Yeah, apparently we've just got I assume, an issue on stage maybe. I'm just, yeah, looking at the refs walking behind them. Haven't heard anything just yet though. That person has a Bilibili sign Now, in China, if you haven't watched any of the streams, the comments are usually on the screen and it goes left to right. Or sorry, right to left. But they go horizontally, right?
Yes.
So that's what's happening there. There you go.
Right, yes, because the sign is...
Yeah.
And also, I think it depends on the team. It depends on the game. But a lot of the teams themselves give out signs to their fans. Now, if you see any of the cool neon ones, they haven't been given out. They are owned by the fan who is at the arena. But if you see the handheld banner style ones, like the one that you might have just saw from that lovely gentleman holding the Bilibili themed sign, there's a chance that that was actually given to him at the entrance by BLG themselves.
Yeah. And remember, this is OMG's arena. So BLG, you know, obviously have a presence that moved over there. Of course, the team is there as well. So surely production and backstage staff is there with them as well.
But now
oh, it's us! Hey! What's going on? Didn't see you there.
G'day.
G'day.
How are ya?
Speaking of which, teach me a new Australian word, Rusty.
Oh, God. No, you can't do that on the spot.
No?
I can't think of an Australian word on the spot.
No?
Nah.
Because usually most of them are like not suitable for broadcast. That's fair, yeah.
No, I can't. You know, okay, it's a bad one, but I'll give you a bad one.
Alright.
When you're like watching football or sport, and I don't mean like soccer, football, I mean football.
Do you guys call it soccer?
Yeah, it's soccer.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
we have
like
like
you have the
3
FL,
different
right? Yeah,
footballs.
yeah, that's fair, yeah.
If there was another football, there'd be too many, because we have rugby league, AFL, rugby union, and soccer that are all played there, and that's all football. So we kind of just called none of them football. Anyway, when you're like watching spectator sports, you never cheer the team on by saying "go team" or anything like that. You say the word "can." Yeah, because it's Australian for "come on."
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Khan as in like, you know, Star Trek, like Khan.
No,
like
it's
that Khan.
like C-A-R-N.
Oh, I see.
Not like Khan, the top laner of Kingzone or anything. Like. And we can't say the letter R in Australian, which is why it probably sounds like that.
Khan. Got it, cool. Alright, we're into Champions League. OMG versus BLG for the second game. OMG leading us 1-0. And it will be Camille and Gangplank banned out here by OMG. On the opposite side, BLG will take away Talia. And of course, Aatrox. We'll see what their final ban is on that side. What they want OMG to be playing. I don't know if they want to just take someone away from Wars 6 right here. Because they've already taken away the Talia.
I mean, the Talia gone, Nocturne and Camille. Camille actually banned as well, so Nocturne and Kindred are the 2 big ones. Now, meanwhile, we don't know if he can play the Kindred to the highest level as well. I know that we saw an attempt from Chieftain, so we'll have to see. I think jungle priority is still going to be very high in this second draft.
You'd have to expect so. Icon disrespecting his Yasuo, of course. OMG leading with a Rakan pick. Okay. I see you. I like it. I'm feeling it. One could say I'm really feeling it. 5 is an exceptional Rakan player. I think one of the best in the league, in fact.
Absolutely. I mean, with the Alistar available, Rakan and Alistar fit a very similar style, but this also opens the floor to the likes of Azaya. I think that's one of the difference makers here between the picks. So we'll have to see where they go with priority. I know that if you look at the LCK, you've got Ezreal and Varus everywhere right now. So AD carries are starting to crop up more and more, and I think getting the Xayah into the mix can do wonders.
This will be interesting. Coming out from BLG, they lock in the Varus and could follow up with the Graves. I mean, part of it is the deny from Chelly, but...
The last remaining pick as well is the Gragas that was banned by BLG in that last game that hasn't been seen just yet. Now, Gragas can go jungle, can go top lane also if you would like, and we've seen some Gragas supports. Now, OMG obviously can't pick it in the support role, but that's the last remaining champion that I would imagine becomes a higher priority through this draft. I think Gragas is just too strong in his flexibility right now.
Yeah. True enough. That will be a Tahm-Kench pickup though by BLG, so in the same way that you like to pick up Tahm-Kench and Ashe at the same time, very similar thing with the old Varus in the bottom lane. OMG though opens up the potential for them to take the Kindred. Now of course it was World6 playing into the Kindred last time around. See if he can do well with it. It's actually one of the 3 picks he's actually picked so far in the split. And last time it was a loss, so let's see if we can make it a win this time around. OMG. Actually be very interesting if they take the Gragas here, because it would be a denial from BLG if they wanted to pick it into the Kindred.
Yeah, I like it. Of course, Gragas into Kindred, like you mentioned, with the ultimate interactions would be nice for the side of BLG. Now, for the side of OMG, they've opted away from the pick. They've gone towards the Ornn instead. I still think the Gragas has got its merits, but maybe too many risks there. At the same time, if you go towards the Ornn, maybe the ball changes here. I was going to say something like an Orianna. Could even be considered for the AD carry position of Chelly if he has been able to play the pick. I think that Ornn, Rakan, Orianna works brilliantly together. All they're missing is the Yasuo, which is banned.
Yeah, I think that Y4 has definitely started something here in the LPL with the Orianna in the bot lane. We've been spamming that one a lot, Loken following suit. Trundle, we pick up here from BLG, can go into the jungle, the top lane. Trundle does a lot of things. He's very scary in that new Rise cinematic.
He definitely is.
Yeah, it's big old Trundle. I didn't realize he was that big, actually. LeBlanc's going to be the ban out here against Icon, so no assassins for him.
I didn't realize Nasus is so small without using his ultimate.
Yeah, I mean, well, he's meant to be a man who's ascended, right?
Yeah.
And Azir is approximately the same size as well. I thought he was a little bit bigger, though. Yeah.
I just expected more.
Yeah.
But
I mean, he's still like a demigod, right? So it's not the size that necessarily matters. Anyway, OMG will take away the Orianna towards the bottom lane. Again, none of that towards Jinzhao, even Athena, because it is Athena stepping into the mid lane this time around. Yeah,
mid lane bans across the board. Zoe may actually be considered here by Icon if he wants to remove that one. Now that Yasuo has been taken, that's usually the pick into it. So we'll have to see. I would like the respect against Athena. I would like the Zoe ban a lot. They're already banning mid laners. That's where a lot of their focus has gone. Now they could get rid of the Swain as well if they wanted to play a more conventional style, but because Varus and Tahm Kench are already locked in, I don't think the need is necessarily there. And instead they're going to get rid of the Darius.
Yeah, they're going to ruin my fun. Take away the Darius. BLG thinking about what they want to bring into the top lane now. I mean, they could also move the Trundle up there if they wanted it. But actually, currently they're hovering over a lot of AJ's champions, including the Poppy, the Singe, the Cho'Gath.
I don't think Poppy is necessary with their composition. They've got so much disengage already. I would rather something that can enable them going forwards. And Singe is one of those weird picks that can do exactly that. It just needs to work well with the Trundle pillar. As we should see something fairly standard here from OMG. I would expect the Xayah to be locked in. What we're looking at is more towards the middle lane. What exactly can we see picked by Icon? He's got a lot of champions that he's played in his time in this split so far. Up there with some of the highest amount of champions played. Even the likes of a Fiora seen in that middle lane. But he doesn't know his opponent, so perhaps erring to the side of caution here. Something even like the Zoe, Lissandra, Cassiopeia. Always possibilities.
And in the end, the Lovers duo will be locked in. Oh, you got in there just before there was the hover.
I just thought of it as well.
I mean,
he's got Smite, so it's most likely going to be Talent.
True. I would put it past Icon to pick up like something else in the mid lane with Smite.
If you go Zoe, I feel like it's a denial away from Athena, more than just a pick for yourself. But at the same time, when you've got someone who is a big fan of the Zoe, then he'll be a big fan of what he wants to pick into it. He'll have his options there for the counters as he pleases.
Yeah, I do like the Zoe a lot. Caston would be an interesting one. I've been tricked too many times this draft. There'll be many swap-ups. So we'll see where Athena lands in the end. I will not get excited about Vel'Koz. I will get excited about Vel'Koz. We're going to have our second Vel'Koz of the LPL here today with BLG and OMG. First one lost spectacularly. So hopefully you can do better here today, Athena.
Yeah, this is a risk to me. Now, Vel'Koz was the original pick into something like an Azir.
Yep.
Because Azir is a mid-range champion, and Vel'Koz can hit the mid to long range in his style, and often Xerath is the other one that you would see into that. Now, Zoe is one of those unique champions, and I would define her as mid-range. I definitely would define her as such, but when she's level 6 and has the ultimate, is she really mid-range? When she can hit you from long range, and she's untargetable when she's in the mid-range. That's the thing, because Vel'Koz to me, and I play mid for those who don't know why, I just suddenly got passionate about it. Vel'Koz is a combo mage. You need to hit all of your damage to get the true damage procs off.
To get the research,
You need to research them and download them. Once they're downloaded, you basically one-hit them. Zoe's hard to one.
Street Fighter. Yeah.
But the thing with Zoe is that she can only go forwards and she can't go backwards. The ultimate's never able to be used for disengage, only for outplay in that respect. So if you've got the 2v2 going in your favor, if you're chasing the Zoe down or she's gone forwards and wasted her ultimate, absolutely blow her up. That's a possibility. So we are still directing all of our focus and our attention towards the 2v2 to see if they've got what it takes here, OMG, to win 2 in a row, or if BLG can run away with that one now that they've got the Trundle in the mix.
It is a very interesting matchup to think about, because you're right, like if the Zoe locks herself down and uses Portal Jump and the Vel'Koz is in range for the fissure coming out from the E, he could blast her, theoretically. But it's like, will he be able to get in range for that? Will that actually happen in reality? But yes, it does put pressure onto that 2v2 once more, and then it's like questions of, has our resident Sleeping Beauty woken up? Because Athena,
yes.
that was the that was the problem really, and one of the reasons why he was subbed out in the first place. And now,
sleepy boy.
Every time we come back in, Athena just have some good showings. Of course you can't take that away from him. In fact, there's a reason why he was on the starting roster for so long. But following that, he was definitely overshone by the duo of Cheese and the Mole.
Athena always has the capabilities of being a star player, but he never really found his niche in the meta until Zoe came around, and then he was only picking Zoe. People banded away from him, and suddenly he was gone again. And suddenly Mole was back, and everything was looking still good for BLG. Coming into this second game, Athena does need to be that carry, but this time he's not on the Zoe, he's against it.
No, he isn't, but he does have an answer to it in the same way that Icon has answers to Assassins. For now, though, we're on to Rift once again for OMG versus BLG. OMG on match point. So hand it over to Chengdu. Alright, they're out of control. Get the security guards in here. Get the guy at the drum.
You very rarely get an opportunity to see your team win in your home crowd, unless you are Snake. Of course, a lot of the teams don't have home crowds yet. EDG, IG, they all share Shanghai, so they get their fair share of wins. But LGD in Hangzhou, they have got 3 in a row now, but before that point, very rarely winning. WE have won 1 set now in their home arena, and that was this week.
Yep.
OMG not performing the best either. This is 6th versus 6th, so a great chance here for the crowd to get excited and truly believe in their team, because they won in 26 minutes in game 1.
Yeah, I mean that's the other thing though. This is a weird fight over Blue Wolf. We're just kind of like tapping it over and over again. Here we go. Five actually wants to start us off. Gonna follow through, get the kill there onto Kindred, turn it onto the Toad. Rose gonna walk it off, but OMG blast them in that fight.
A Rakan and 2 effective AD carries is a very hard thing to contend with, let alone having a Xayah with the Rakan for both of them having the W empowered at level 1. So they do get themselves the kill here, OMG. They'll get themselves the blue buff as well, completely for free, followed by the Scuttle. Now it's also a marked Scuttle Crab. Everything going correct here for OMG in the first 2 minutes. For BLG, you've got a teleport on your AD carry, so you don't have that offensive summoner. As another
double knock-up coming in from 5. Ro turns around, lands the lick. Jin Zhao's going to get a lot of return damage, but I don't know, man. Okay, we'll take a look at some of the runes coming out. It's going to be Sorcery first, Inspiration second out from Jin Zhao with the, of course, Scorch and Comet coming through.
That's a knock-up in mid. But yes, whilst we're looking at the keystones and everything for the bottom lane, Jin Zhao has not gone towards the likes of a lethal tempo, hasn't gone press the attack, and has not gone towards fleet footwork, all of those being in precision. Choosing the Comet, now there's 2 Comets on their team as well, indicates to me that we're going to see that lethality Varus perhaps running around, trying to maximize his damage from mid to long range. And when you look at the entire composition of BLG, we spoke mostly about the mid lane. One of the big strengths that they've got is long-range poke and disengage. So that to me screams siege composition. They get early leads, set a Varus and a Vel'Koz in a single lane, poke you down until you cannot defend, and either dive with the Singed and the Trundle pillars, or if they try and engage on you, just walk away.
That's fair, but you have like a Rakan and an Ornn who will be able to interrupt that, engage on top of you. Zoe as well, who can deal a lot of damage when someone's trying to siege into you, and if they commit, then you also have a Kindred. So it's like,
you're not wrong.
OMG have a very good team, as we keep talking about, to catch what BLG have thrown.
It's a sword versus shield type of game.
Yeah, it is,
for certain, where BLG can go backwards and siege from long range, OMG can go forwards. And I think, the long range poke style compositions to me are harder to execute, especially if you're going even in a game.
Yep.
For OMG, if they get ahead early, I mean, it's just a cakewalk to press your R buttons and run at your opponents until you take them down, especially if Icon gets leads. That early pressure can mount up so much through damage that he places down, and then engage is very obvious for the rest of your team to follow that through, communication aside. So I really like OMG's composition. I think in a battle of 6th versus 6th, it makes a lot of sense to pick the easy to execute style of composition, and for OMG as a team to pick the engage.
Yeah, I think it's also interesting how this game has started though, because you know we were talking about World 6 in Game 1 and just before, and like again, he's the type of player like it really depends on the first couple minutes of play, and if he's gotten a kill or two, you know, before 5 minutes, generally you're looking at a pretty good game for OMG.
Yeah.
And the same thing is miraculously happened once again, but the team was chiming in for it. So it seems like this is OMG's series 2 lose right now, especially winning that first game.
Absolutely is. If OMG, everything goes right for them, a 2-0 would be very refreshing to see from them. Their last set against LGD, they lost in 50 minutes total. They got 2-0 by them, a 24-minute game and a 26-minute game. This bottom lane so far seems to be very stable from each respective team, except the BLG, the ones pushing forwards and giving opportunities to their opponents to maybe find them.
But for now, though, it just seemed like we've calmed down just a little. The storm has passed.
Yep.
Just in its tailwind. Let's see if it comes back around once again. World 6 is going to clear out this ward and then have a very angry Minhwa who is on him. Yeah, he's decided not to do it just yet. Oh, jumps over the wall, but there's the ultimate.
Doesn't have flash, that's right.
Thoroughly researched. That's going to be a kill right there onto World 6. Minhwa now under attack.
Oh no, he's in trouble.
Sleep. He doesn't have flash either. Takes a lot of damage coming over from Icon. He follows up the more sparkles. He will get revenge for his jungler.
Yeah, the trade is ultimately there between them. Of course, it starts off so well for BLG, and then Minhwa steps up to try and clear a ward, and is immediately taken down for just overreaching. There's bottom.
Yeah, already a lot of damage onto 5. Rose still following up onto Charlie, though, needs one auto attack. And Jiao snipes the target down.
Now, 5 hit a Q, so there was a chance that he could have flashed forwards towards Chelly to get the heal, but didn't want to risk dying. There was a very real-world possibility that 5 survived the end of that fight. However, very well executed and navigated by the 2v2 of BLG, Jinjiao and Road. And you say that it's a lot of it's like a stress test when you look at the bottom lane for score lines. Is Road doing well? Yes, then BLG tend to be winning the game. That is a fantastic start.
Yeah, really good stuff for them. But, I mean, it's been tit for tat across the board. 2 for 2 right now. One of those kills has gone to the mid lane. One has gone to the jungle.
Just weird to me, though, Pulse. You know, those kills in the mid lane, I fully understand how they managed to catch World 6 out of position. I can understand that, you know, a Kindred without flash stepping up to clear vision and a Trundle pillar. Two things that are very dangerous for a Kindred to contend with. But then why does Minhwa die straight afterwards? You know, why does he step up straight away and find himself dying as well and making it a trade when it should just be a 1-for-0?
It's also just unfortunate because Minhwa has come into this game as Athena as the subs, and immediately off the bat, both the kills that, or both the deaths that BLG have are on him, including his jungle getting taken away again.
Nice.
Chelly was the one chiming in there with the double daggers, finding that one.
Timing is damage at the same time as the smite, so at the end of the day, whilst Chelly gets it, not World 6, it does mean that Minhwa and the side of BLG aren't getting it. Namely, Athena in the mid lane, not getting that blue buff. An opportunity will present itself in about a minute for Icon to get his own blue, and usually as a mid laner, once you've got blue and your opponent doesn't, you just hard win the lane. Mana regeneration, cooldown reduction, ability power, 3 things that every mid laner in the world just froths over.
Yeah. There are some exceptions to the rule, but primarily, they would definitely like that one. So Denial from the mid lane. Denial and experience as well, even if Minhwa wanted it. He now gets to level 6. World 6 will do the same on the opposite side.
You know what you would do? If you wanted to make it so that mid laners don't get blue buffs, like if you're a jungler or a designer from Riot Games that jungles, you would make it so that the Gromp and the blue buff effectively swap places on the map, because that's just so far away from mid lane. And mid laners are greedy, because they're going to take that full wave and then come over and you've got it prepared at 1 HP.
That's true, yeah.
That's so far away now that a jungler can't possibly fathom waiting an extra 5 seconds for you to come over and just take it on 1 health.
Yeah, I'm trying to understand your perspective here, Mr. Rusty, because I know you are a mid laner.
I'm also a support main.
That's true. Here we go. Here comes the ramp once again. Looks for knock-up. Doesn't find anybody. That's going to be the reset. Oh, hello, Icon.
Wow.
Just snipes out amazing jail. I mean, okay. I mean, a lot of the tension was rising. We're like, okay, you know, who's going to land the skull? Just kills him.
Yeah,
right.
I mean, that's just Zoe things for you, right? So they get the kills. 2-0 now is the mid laner of OMG, and the blue buff is taken by him. We mentioned this a minute ago. The blue buff was there for him. BLG do the correct thing. They come over, and if nothing else, they were just going to threaten and have some presence there. At the end of the day, they step a little bit too far They don't get any kills. The Athena ultimate does not find purchase on a death. And of course, the Kindred Lamb's Respite is there to save him. So at the end of the day, OMG come out on top and then some.
Yes, they do. 3-2-2 in this game. Adds up to 5. Speaking of 5, in the bottom lane.
Quick maths.
Got himself a Frostfang. BF Sword on Shelly as well.
Costs 500 gold to upgrade, speaking of the number 5.
Hey. That's 100 of those. Those was 100 times better than mine.
That's how many people don't place control wards in my game.
Still saucy over your series last night, I see.
That was internet, bro. I'm almost master on China.
Oh no, Xiang caught in place. He's on the Mega Adhesive. Perfect timing, but where you gonna run, bro? Oh, looks for the flash right here. Has to force the flash from Mianhua.
Yeah.
I like it.
I mean, yeah, you force a summoner out of the trundle, but now you don't have it for yourself, and it means that maybe they just rinse and repeat in this top lane. Lots of damage will be taken by that turret as well. World 6 is trading on the opposite side. This is one of those moments where you'll take the summoner trade, but the risk was that they didn't need to use one at all.
Yeah.
And then you just die with using the flash for nothing. So it was flirting with danger quite a bit there.
Whoa!
And see, that's the interaction we were talking about in Champ Select. Once Zoe hits 6, what is a Vel'Koz meant to do to kill him? Doesn't matter if the fissure connects, because she's always going to go back to where she started. So that's where the jungle intervention has to come into play. You'll never find a 1v1 unless Icon mispositions.
I mean, preferably you're hoping that, you know, Zoe does that out of, not out of Fog of War, and in vision. So you can walk towards the point with what she, to where she portal jumped from.
You're not wrong,
throw
but
the E.
walking towards that point is a straight line where she'll hit the Q anyway.
Yeah, it's horrible.
So I don't think there is a winning situation there.
It's like you've got to use Flash. And then you're committed. It's like, well, I hope I can 100-0 the Zoe with, you know, my full combo and ultimate. If not, then I lose.
Such is the life of picking a Vel'Koz for the composition, more than just the laning phase itself. Of course, Icon smartly went towards the heal also, and it's just a cleanse from Athena, which I do not blame him for having the cleanse, but it removes a lot of kill threat through the laning phase, provides, once again, more for the mid-game, late-game team composition style.
You watched the new Rise cinematic?
I did.
Is that Vel'Koz at the end?
No.
Is it just a random void creature?
It's, I don't know what their names are, like a Void Watcher or something.
Oh, it's one of the Watchers.
Yeah. It was confirmed on the map.
Oh.
When you open the map, it says even the Watchers are attracted to the power.
Right. What I feel weird is that on the map, it shows Rise's secret vault.
His secret vault, like the location?
Yeah. But not Bandle City. I mean, of course, you know, the Yulers want to keep Bandle City hidden. But it's like, aren't the stones meant to, like, end the world if people find them? Like, why is it on the map?
But why does that make you reveal Bandle City as well? Like, is that's your comparison point?
Well, no, I'm just saying both should be hidden, right? Like, if Bandle City is hidden, so should Rise's stash of world-ending relics.
I have a feeling that's just Riot's map. It's not.
Then why don't they know where Bandle City is?
I don't think this is the map that all of the champions in the universe have in their possession. I think this is just the one that Riot's got.
Then why can't I know where Bandle City is then?
I don't know, dude. I didn't make the map, but I would like to know where it is as well.
Okay.
Because there's a cinematic from there as well, Pentakill song.
That's true, yeah.
I would like to know where that took place.
Same, there seems to be a lack of continuity here. Anyway, in the bottom side, still, wow, that was a lot of damage.
Yeah, again, it's the Manamune. We haven't actually looked at the bottom lane build. We mentioned that it could happen, it did happen. It's the lethality Manamune style build, so just rapid firing spells from the Varus.
Ooh, that's a bummer.
Mianhua is probably dead.
Yeah, ooh. Merciful.
Yeah, he's going to survive. Didn't want to face check, I felt like. I'm not sure why they didn't continue to chase there, but OMG will let them live. Go and tell everyone what happened here on this day.
Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, 5 getting chased back with...
Wow, yeah, that is a lot. It just absolutely ruined his health bar. 5 taken down. Has got a cloth armor to speak of as well in his build, so that's just a lot of damage.
Boy.
That's what a Varus can do to you.
Yeah, I can't tell who's playing Zoe in this game, to be honest. Is it a person in the bot lane? Is it a person in the mid lane? I don't know. What?
Thanks, Zoe.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing...
I have no idea what that was.
Yeah, I haven't heard it before. The other thing is that, like, Icon walking towards mid lane pops the stopwatch. I mean, that's nice that Athena has burnt that one. But theoretically, that's what you want as Vel'Koz. That's your kill. That's your kill moment. That's the time when you actually catch Zoe unawares, which you can't use the portal jump. You land your full combo.
Yeah, speaking
and
of
your
Zoe's,
ultimate.
I just caught Amazing J unaware. That's why the ultimate's used and his health bar is completely missing. Do not be fooled, that was not an Ornn that managed to do that. And it's just a Rylai's Crystal Scepter with Merc Treads rushed by Amazing J. Again, the second game in a row that he has rushed his Rylai's. Hasn't gone towards a Shirelia's first or a Righteous Glory. We get to see how this kill happens in the bottom lane. The answer is lots of damage. There is
on the chains.
and single Varus stack on him that gets popped.
Yep. That's Varus. Oh, a lot of damage though. Chunked him down to half from 1Q and then just kills him on the second.
That's the idea. If this composition is enabled from BLG any further, if they're able to actually keep this pace going through the bottom lane specifically, that's all it takes. You know, Athena's even in mid. He's a little bit behind, of course, comparatively to Icon, but that's because Icon has 2 kills, so he's been able to forge it roughly a 15 CS lead for himself. At the end of the day, if Varus and Vel'Koz are in the same lane, regardless of the difference between mid laners, that composition is online and enabled. So that's where OMG need to either prevent it from happening in the first place or be prepared to engage on it straight away.
Who has the sword and who has the shield in your analogy from earlier?
OMG are the sword, they're engaging.
OMG are the sword, alright. So you need to just like hit him with the sword basically.
Well, yeah, if you get a Rakan engage, an Ornn engage, or a Zoe trouble bubble, that's what I was looking at when I say the offensive team. For BLG having a Trundle, Pillar, and a Tahm Kench Devour, that is the disengage or defensive team.
They just have poke, so I guess they have like a hand crossbow, like a
Who?
BLG.
Yeah.
Because it got poke, right? They want a siege.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
I mean, I'm happy to call it the shield though.
Right. Chance of survival?
He's alive.
100%.
We wait until it happens before we give percentages here on the LPL. Also, the Infernal Drake is up in 15 seconds, so if you're going to waste anything from Chelly, now was the time to do it. That no ultimate available does mean that it'll be harder to navigate if you're OMG. As you can see, trying to press forwards, Amazing J and Athena just waiting in the wings. They can kill someone very quickly.
Ooh. Yeah, a lot of close calls here. Oh, the Unseen Singed. I'll have you. Pops down the ultimate. World 6 buying a bit of time, but here comes the quarter push guard. Oh, pops over the wall and fires here with the shield as well. Xiang, body blocking. Reset on the dragon. Icon following through. Drops Amazing J down to half.
But this should be BLG's dragon to take. There's too much health missing from the side of OMG, and there goes OMG again. They have no ultimate from Chelly, missing a bit of health there, and then of course World 6 steps up too close. They don't have vision. He was either fighting for vision or just stepping up to try and force BLG out of their hidey holes, but at the end of the day, he just gets chunked out, and whilst he survives and he is able to get out with his life, it doesn't give them any even opportunities to look at the dragon as a place to be. So instead, they're going to go towards the other side of the map. You can see the BLG did get chunked on the back half and they recalled, so opportunities there.
Yeah, that being said, I feel like OMG are definitely getting the short end of the stick here.
Yes, they are.
Because BLG are taking the bot lane tower. There was a potential contest coming out from Miroir. And they're moving topside. BLG are definitely going to get a lot from this one.
I mean, pretty much in most ways here, besides that Herald having the potential activation to get a turret, BLG are winning. And it's the things like wave crashing in the bottom lane, not being able to get caught fully from Chelly. Doesn't have the teleport, can't get down there straight away. So a small advantage forged even further by BLG in the 2v2. They get the Infernal Dragon as well. It's not just a regular dragon like a Cloud or an Ocean, it's an Infernal. So it's an even bigger deal for a composition that wants to be poking with damage. Oceans are good for poke compositions, but at the same time, Infernals to kill them just as strong.
I'm just taking a look at 5 and World 6. They're both just like hiding in fog of war right now. So if someone just comes on by, Icon lands a bubble. Everyone will dogpile on top of them, look for a kill. Not gonna be the case though, no dragon, no herald. Ground spawns in 1 minute. But for now, it's just see who they can fight. You know, the old TK's got a blue screen right there, but in the end, we're just gonna ARAM.
And this is where BLG want to be when you think about the ARAM. Now for OMG, of course, they're not discontent with being in this area if they can engage before the poke kills them. You've seen 1Q connect already from Jin Jiao. Those arrows are piercing the heck out of them.
Follow through. Researching the heck out of Icon. He's very low. Wave now getting cleared out, and that's BLG's composition.
And what's Icon doing? He steps up, gets poked out. 5 now gone from the lane as well, and suddenly BLG pressing forward. Xiang has to teleport in just to defend the turret. Because Icon chooses to step up next to Jin Zhao. It was a great proto belt usage from the Spell Thieves as well, though, to dodge the Varus ultimate.
Yep.
He should be dead. If he wasn't that good of a player, he is dead for that mistake.
100%, but he still has to burn resources off of that. Like, he's got his flash still, but even so. Play Wolf Fizzle in the end from BLG, but you can see the power of it. You can step up, throw a couple skill shots, trust in the hands of Jin Zhao that he's going to hit them, which he always will.
I think that's actually best case scenario from OMG, is that they do force the disengage. So if you're BLG, you'll take the teleport advantage that you've got. OMG, however, looking for the power play of their own. Xiang has got the ultimate on the Ornn still present, and he is still mid lane. If they want to threaten this one, they absolutely can. And if nothing else, it should just be a charge.
Close, pop the ultimate, and we're going to dive in on this one. The tower's about to go down, looking for the multi-man charm. Blast the catfish before it can Grey Health it. Shay's going to look for one more, but still, OMG, nice crack in the mid lane. Oh, hello, this could be a little bit scary. But we're going to be fine. Icon returns fire. That's going to be Chain of Corruption landing once again onto Zoe.
Oh
Icon very low. There's a big arrow coming through.
Jin Zhao is just doing so much damage with all of these arrows, chunking them down, and this means that the opportunity is there to push forwards, maybe through. Oh, no. No cleanse.
Xiang falling through. Oh, the paddle star's huge. Takes out the Vel'Koz.
High damage compositions, man. This is such a delicate game between both of them. You can see the damage coming out, but the kills very rarely translated. This time around, there's no summoner spells for Athena. He was taken down earlier when they pressured the turret.
Yep.
By the Rakan charming him, and suddenly all it takes is that single trouble bubble, and that is a lot of the hope here for OMG. I'd like to see the replay as well of what happens in mid lane.
You guys don't know, but right now we're casting out of Shanghai. We've got the Chinese cast over there, with Wawa's over there. He made the exact same sound I did. I just through my headset. At the same time, we just see that damage connect as being the drops. Yeah, there's a lot of surprise damage coming in here from Icon and Jin Zhao.
We don't often get the opportunity to see compositions like this as well running around in the LPL. Yeah. Poke compositions are a rarity. We like the team fights, as I'm sure you're all well aware. So we get a lot of team fight compositions, and OMG, I would say, are very much that.
Yeah.
As BLG, this is their attempt at, navigating around the engaged compositions, playing more towards the meta as best they can to beat their opponents who play more standard. Junks him again. That comment
man, yeah, exactly. Almost did as much as the arrow coming in there.
It's so hard to play around as well. When you've got a comet coming out of Athena and from Jin Zhao, and they're just getting thrown everywhere,
yep.
Means that the single target spells, maybe you just dodged it, there's a comet following, and that hits you, and it just never ends. Applies Scorch,
yep.
You hate your life.
I mean, when we all saw Runes Reforged become a thing, I don't think any of us really expected the future where this would be a thing. Where you've got this long-range Varus just poking away using Scorching Comet, just making your life miserable.
At first I don't think anyone did. Airy looked too broken.
Yeah.
But on day one, I was playing Airy Misfortune.
Oh yeah.
Because it looked funny. When you use your ultimate and it hits multiple champions, Airy just does not know what to do and flies everywhere.
Does it actually hit people or just
it does a lot of extra damage. Oh, nice. So that was where I think I started with it, talking to Raz about it. And suddenly, everything was Comet. Because Comet was nutty.
Yep. Yeah, the fact that it was like the go-to spell, especially for like champions like Urgot, it's like, all right, something's a bit wrong here.
It just travels.
Press the attack.
The Comet just travels so quickly that it doesn't make sense.
If you don't have boots, you're gonna get hit.
You get hit, yeah. But like, why? Why not increase the damage and slow the projectile speed to let people actually play around it? Airy's job is to deal guaranteed damage.
Yeah. I feel you. So that's good times.
Oh, 5.
It's not okay.
5 is not enjoying his
one more arrow,
time on the Rift.
Jin Zhao's about to load another arrow in a second.
Here it comes. There it goes.
Bubble.
They clench every time.
Yeah. It's just on the floor. No one step into it. Like every time you throw us an arrow, I'm just like, if this hits the squishy, they're gonna get half health.
And there are 4 squishies on the side of OMG.
True.
There was a QSS.
It's not even like Xiang can catch him either. It's a piercing arrow. He goes through targets.
these sleepy trouble bubbles have deterred this push for so long.
Yep.
If you want to siege mid lane, BLG, they've got all of the outers but mid. So very clearly they want to siege the middle lane. But if you want to siege that lane, you have to try and poke someone out early or navigate your way around the Zoe. And every time they step up, because it kind of funnels itself into a choke point for someone like a Zoe. Of course, mid lane is naturally very wide and very open with multiple entry and exit points.
Yep.
But because Zoe can use terrain to navigate that in her favor, to siege the middle lane against the Zoe, if you don't know where she is, someone's going to sleep. And if someone goes to sleep, your siege is done.
We're doing a lot of sieging though. Now on the bot side, looks like we're going to break this one open. Knock up into the follow through. On Horn. Misses. Xiang, he's taking a lot of damage from this tower. Chooses to commit. I respect that. World 6 is going to get flipped. Goes into respite, but here comes the rest of the team. The posse's here. And force him to back away. It's just a 1 kill onto Xiang.
Yeah, they come to save World 6. Chelly's going to lose a chunk of his health as well from Jinjiao on the back end of the fight. And ultimately, we just watched an Ornn standing on the Mega Adhesive, not knowing what to do. So he walks off the Mega Adhesive to try and hit the ultimate, misses it.
Yep. Because
he's so focused on getting off the glue. And then he's just been tanking the turret the entire time, so he dies. That was a very simple thing there from the side of Amazing J. All he had to do was exist with poison clouds around him.
I mean, isn't that just like what Singe does in general?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Singe has become very powerful from having the utility on that W chain.
Yes,
the Mega Adhesive grounding you, not being able to dash off it, flash even off it, no instant spells, is so big, even against someone like an Ornn. So Singe just really started to crop up as the pick into Ornn, into Camille, and potentially even into the Gragas, who is running around in top lane at the moment.
Camille was the big one, because she jumps onto a wall.
She's Spider-Man.
You throw the adhesive, and she's like, ah. I guess I just got.
It's like when someone puts their tongue on an icy pole.
Yeah,
and their tongue
that's true.
is stuck on the pole.
Yeah. Is that minion just stuck? Hey.
Well, oh, there's a minion. Oh yeah, it is.
Get back to work.
Now, BLG have pinged 27 times in the past second that they are on the way. Here's a QSS. It's fine.
Yep, that's some damage.
I don't think there was a tab press by Jinjiao, but the damage is good, and that should actually enable them to get the turret.
Hopefully. Oh, another one landing onto Chelly. On Horn. Finds 3. That's another knock-up. There's constant CC chain. Can OMG convert, though? That's a nice zoning laser. Oh, Amazing J's in. Going to be saved by Kindred, actually. Time out, time in. That's going to be a kill onto the Trundle. Chase back right now. Another kill to OMG, but it's traded junglers. Xiang, getting caught on that one. Backing away. Follow up. Oh, the arrow. Tags Chally. Not on the low health targets.
But Jinjiao and Athena still very high on health, so they're able to continue this play through. They're able to keep pushing, and there's no chance for Icon to threaten any further. Good stuff here, honestly, from the side of BLG. But there were so many positives from OMG on the backside of this. It was actually just a very tense and very close fight across the board. Yep. The end result is that the turret that was already inevitably going to fall sooner or later just goes down, and everything will continue slightly in the favor of BLG, but only slight.
There's a lot of dodging going on. I feel like we've been in this mid lane for absolutely forever, you know? It's like, if you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a Varus arrow. Uh-oh. Maybe not. Here comes, the Chain of Corruption right into the laser. I don't think he ever had a chance to survive that one. Jinjiao, great pick there in the mid lane, and now BLG looking towards the Baron.
Maybe unexpected, honestly, from the side of OMG, not thinking that they still haven't recalled after that long, drawn-out exchange. And when you really put that into perspective, the Muramana that is available for Jinjiao does mean a great deal. Tahm Kench actually looking.
Emphasis on the O. Yeah, that time Kench goes into the grey health.
There goes Road again.
Oh, I'm out. Bye-bye. World 6. Looking to jump over this wall. He's going to get bumped by that pillar. Oh, he's face first with an Amazing J. How's the team going to get over? Well, Mianhua wants in. He flashes over. Xiang low. He's about to get tagged by the...
Wrap it up, boys. What are we
geometry.
doing?
I don't know, to be honest, Rusty. He's kind of fighting because we want to.
That was interesting. Now, that's Colorcaster terms for why.
Yeah.
It was a big chase. Road was the one who made a mistake, and then the rest of BLG have to get there and try and help him, keep him alive. And he does barely survive the Ornn ultimate not connecting on the back end of that fight. But then you look past that point. You're like, why are they still chasing? And why did Mianhua flash the wall to try and help his team? I respect that he did.
Yeah.
I have full respect for the fact that he went for it.
He's the type of friend that you want.
Yeah.
They're always going to be there for you. Maybe too often.
And I always say it's better to make a mistake as a team than have one person make the mistake and be forced into a bad situation.
For sure, you know, it's better
especially
to,
as games get later and later. Oh.
He just wanted to throw the raspberry,
Yeah. OMG actually aggroed the Baron for a second there as well. Skryzor spotted them.
Buffy flash. Everyone calm down.
Varus is the person to look at, Paul. That's what we're looking at right now.
At him.
If the chains connect onto someone that is not Rakan, the fight is on. Rakan, of course, having the Quicksilver sash.
Oh.
That was a real
flash.
Oh my god. That was a lot of respect. I don't even think the fissure was thrown out by Vel'Koz.
No. But he saw he was on the edge of the wall there, so it was a good chance for him to be lined up for a skill shot, but yeah.
Saw the Eye of Sauron and pieced out as fast as it could.
Nope. Not today. I have Sauron skin. Why don't I have that yet for Vel'Koz? I don't know why.
I learned a lot about Vel'Koz from the latest Rise piece, because I had the same question you did.
Yeah.
Was that Vel'Koz that Rise was fighting?
Well, I think that Vel'Koz is meant to be like, you know, not a predecessor, but a continuation of the Watchers, I guess.
I have interpreted him like Kha'Zix, and you know how like the Void creatures have assumed the form of something, where Kha'Zix became a bug, as an example. Yeah. He's smart. He was a smart cookie, so he assumed the role of the leaders.
The Watchers.
The Watchers. So he actually just became one of them instead of becoming a
thing that wants
basic
to eat everything.
animal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he's the only Void creature that doesn't want to eat everything in front of him,
because he's smart.
Yeah. He's a smart unit.
Kog'Maw became, I don't know, he's a puppy, I guess.
Yeah, he is a Void puppy. Again, he wants to eat everything. What's Cho'Gath? I don't really know what Cho'Gath is. He's just kind of like, you know, a mythical monster.
I have not the slightest idea. Especially with all the skins that we've got for Cho'Gath. What is Cho'Gath really? Is he a dinosaur? Is he a gentleman that is just a monster?
I'll tell you what Cho'Gath is. Made before the Void had a real storyline.
Yes.
Yeah.
We don't know. Like a lot of League of Legends, it was thrown together in spaghetti before it meant something.
Yeah. And that was really cool. But there are some question marks, yeah, before they get their reworks. Like good old Sion. Like Sion he wasn't really anything. He was just kind of a joke before he got changed, and now he's a badass. Same with Urgot.
Yeah.
What do you mean? New story's great.
It was a Varus ultimate. Where'd you go?
Nope, not at all. Nope.
No, I mean all that health missing from 5 indicates that something connected.
Nah.
He didn't use the QSS though, so he's just going to go back to base and reset. So BLG, I actually think you could clear mid-wave right now and set up to not necessarily rush the Baron, but force OMG to come towards you. And OMG are coming towards you.
Catch of the day. Catfish managed to escape, however. He bites the hook.
Yeah.
Needs to stop that icon. That's pretty rude.
Road is loving himself some mispositioning. OMG are very quick to exploit him when he's out of position as well, though.
His driving test.
I feel like a solid game plan when you come into a BLG set is wait for Road to make a mistake.
Yeah.
And that's when you pounce. His nickname, I nicknamed him this in spring, and I feel like it's very appropriate as he's the Wanderer.
Yep.
You know, he'll go to the same place as everyone else, but often he'll find himself in weird places he didn't really want to be, or somewhere. Oh god, that's not correct.
What did he bonk on?
The Trundle Pillar.
Oh, the Trundle Pillar?
Yeah.
Oh.
He survives. Did have to flash.
5,000 IQ Trundle Pillar. Yeah, forcing another flash. And over time, we're just burning summoners.
And this is just a legitimate ARAM until something breaks.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
The only way you can play this is you ARAM until someone dies.
Welcome to the Howling Abyss.
You want to sleep a carry or a priority target. That was the Banshees removed from Athena. He also has the Cleanse and the Flash. And put that into perspective, the only person that can really catch him is Icon. So it's going to take a lot of bubbles connecting onto a single member to lock down Athena at all. And when you look at Jin Zhao, he's got a Tahm Kench anyway.
Too right.
So for OMG, it's all about hitting that big 5v5 engage. The Ornn has to lock down multiple members, or the Rakan has to lock down multiple members. You can't sustainably play the poke game unless Icon just becomes a pure god. For BLG, I mean, just keep doing it. Just have a great time, really, all around. Just sit there and throw out Qs, and then eventually one of them will hit someone's half health, and that's it. That's your entry rate to the objective.
Or just do it anyway. Screw the mid lane.
Xiang has teleport, but they don't have vision. And it is at half health, and it is now lower than half, and he still hasn't noticed.
It's a third. There's the laser, zones away 3. Chelly instantly into the ultimate. And BLG, by virtue, look for the engage onto 3. Oh my god, they just blasted the bot lane of BLG. Looking towards AJ. Minhua has to flash out and evacuate as well. AJ hits the Insanity Potion, chugs that one, looks to back away. There comes Icon. Comes out the more sparkles. Minhua gives him the Pillar of Filth. Oh, tragic.
Yeah, in a bit of trouble there. Minhua is able to survive. BLG get the Baron and 3 people are left alive. But you saw the engage that OMG are capable of. And finally, they find an opportunity to pull that engage off. If you're OMG, you're feeling really disappointed about that, however, because you pulled the trigger way too late. And BLG are able to get away with members alive.
That being said, Xiang just on the field, just picked up his Gargoyle Stone Plate. AJ is aggressing forward, but Athena has no ultimate. He's not all that scary as a Ghetto Watcher. And in the end, it seems like OMG will just back it away.
Yeah, it means the Baron buff is now actually accessible to be used, however, as the members of BLG come back alive from their death at the Baron pits. Road and Jin Jiao were the 2 who went down ultimately. It's still very positive overall here from BLG in this second game. It's been slow, it's been very mid-focused, very 5v5 team-focused, but because they're not a team fight composition and they have the lead, the ball really was in their court to make the big plays happen. And just going for the Baron, zoning them away, Athena did all of the correct things to enable it to happen in the first place. And they are so lucky that they didn't also catch the Trundle, because that Trundle pillar saved them from pretty much a clean ace.
Yeah, Minhua has definitely had some 50-50 stuff over this game. Has had some questionable plays. However, he's also had some really, really, really good plays at the same time. His pillars have been on point.
Sooner or later, someone from BLG would have to step up. In a game like this, I think BLG will be very upset that there's no banner of commands to rush. You know, no entryways into just purely winning the game and forcing OMG to come to them at their points in the game. There's an Elder Dragon up, however, so with that Baron secured, and a lot of damage onto Chelly's health, BLG are in the driver's seat still.
Yeah, right now they're actually looking to engage using AJ. That was a great pillar coming out of the Ornn, but Xiang is going to get bumped once again, thrown into the team, but may have just engaged for OMG, because here comes 5 into the back line, finds that multi-man taunt once again, blows up Minhua. Doesn't trade for the top lane just yet, taking a timeout in the Kindred ultimate, doesn't get the heal from that one, finds the shield though. OMG looking to disengage as Jin Jiao's trotting on the arrow once more. AJ looking for round 2, adhesive on to 3.
Not gonna get it. Xiang also with the Warmogs, you can see him on the top of your screen now. Gonna get cancelled, but he's gonna regenerate a lot of health. Chelly is the one constantly at risk of dying here.
Sees the opportunity, finds the flick. Feels bad, man, and Xiang completely by himself.
Yeah, Xiang is the one that has to pay the iron price here for the mispositionings of OMG. Baron buff's still there, and so the opportunity presents itself to push forwards, and it was an even fight. It looked really good for OMG. Might have been best case scenario, and then how quickly that all just washes away.
Just Singe things.
Not even just Singe things, just OMG things.
I mean, fair, but I feel bad for Xiang. You know, like he got the dash off. Still gets flung.
That interaction, yes, that feels bad, but why was he there? And why did he get hit by a Vel'Koz Q to cancel his Warmogs to keep
Great
himself
point, Rusty,
at
but I don't look at the big picture, I look at the small one. And in the small picture, Xiang had a bad day. In the big picture, yeah, you're absolutely right, he probably should have been there. But BLG, after all of that, get the pick, get the dragon. Set up for a healthy game too. That being said, OMG, they still have a shot at the crown, still have a shot at the sweep, but BLG are making this work. You know what I find most impressive? It's not typically BLG's style. We see them as the comeback kids, we see them as the, you know, the big old 5v5ers.
I do see them as the late game team though, and we are 38 minutes into this one with an Elder Dragon. Of course, the Baron's gone. But if OMG are a team fighting team against an Elder Dragon, I don't know if that's an easy affair whatsoever. But in saying that, I'm not sure that BLG can siege objectives too successfully.
Or
unless they poke them out. And 5 has got magnets attached to his butt.
He does indeed. Now there's an arrow in it. BLG pushing forwards onto this tower.
They're just letting it go down. No Ornn ultimate, there we go.
There we go. There's the follow-up coming in from 5 once again. Triple knockup, triple charm coming through as well. The dagger, the good coming out from the AD carry.
Combo.
Comes out with the Blade Caller once again. saves the life on the backside using the Kindred ultimate, and that's a big team fight coming out from OMG. 3 for 0, jumping forwards, Icon looking for more.
And at 39 minutes, they finally get the fight that they're after. BLG are the ones who step up. Remember, no Baron buff and just the Elder to be seen. This is a dangerous game. Whoa. I don't think he's going to stop. That was a real flash. He is committed to this cause. They are pushing down mid lane.
Follow through once again. Icon tags. Oh, and the bubble was well to follow. Icon finds the kill.
You cannot flash away from a Zoe is the name of the game. And OMG, after that one team fight, they've got 17 seconds on Amazing J. And it's just Mianhua here to defend it. So it actually looks like OMG might be able to win this one. Mianhua's trying to catch the minions, but he's zoned off.
Oh, World 6 is completely stopping him. 5 off to the side as well. Looking for that knock up and the follow. They're onto the Nexus turret themselves. They've got 5 seconds left on Jinjiao, and they've got respawns coming out from AJ as well. Can they look for the defend because it's 3 versus 5? But they're focusing down to the Nexus. For a single moment, BLG poked their head out from around the shield, and OMG slay them.
Lulled into a false sense of security, to me, is what it feels like here. BLG. Consecutive team fights were not being outright won by them by any means, and once you hit 39 minutes and there's 3 to 4 items on all of the respective carries, that Ornn hits a multi-man knockup. 5 is truly my MVP from that game. From watching his team fight navigation, I thought he was outstanding, and I'm hoping to see it afterwards as well when we get some replays, because he even cancels Vel'Koz's ultimates and everything. Yeah. He played brilliantly as a support, besides catching all of the Varus Qs. When you look at his positioning, the second Varus Qs weren't hitting him. He found an engage. And once he finds that engage, OMG are able to win the game. And they looked very good doing so in team fights.
He's a League of Legends player. He's not a dodgeball player, so I'll forgive him. But all in all, really nice stuff. I mean, like, a lot of it was the setup as well coming in from Xiang's Ornn, but 5 just over and over again has got to be the MVP, at least from us here at the English Caster Desk, because you're right, those constant, just multi-man charms were just fantastic.
It is hard to say when you have to consider that Icon, I don't think he actually died in that game as well. He was able to carry them through to victory, did the damage, found the Vel'Koz in the end of the game as well.
But again, Rusty, he was the highlight hunter, you know? If you're looking for Mr. Reliable, that's 5 in the bottom lane.
See, I think that is up for debate in this set. That highlight hunt at the end was the correct move regardless. Even if he didn't get the kill and just kept him busy, they would have probably ended the game. But end of the day, OMG, they get it 2-0. It was a 40-minute affair. We said 5 is our MVP. I think Icon will most likely be the one who gets it, and he is just as deserving. But when you look at OMG's composition, it was team fight based, and 5 was those team fights.
And you can actually see the damage there as well from Icon in the mid lane. Lots of poke damage coming through. Same from Varus, to be honest, in the bottom side. And then Athena's Vel'Koz actually later the game went. Of course, it was more for the composition than it was for laning phase, but we actually saw it to come to fruition. I thought that laser coming out at the Baron particularly
was very smart.
Really, really smart. Yeah, playing around those choke points and actually lining himself up so he could make the use of that line skill shot.
And he was also the one who got out alive, avoiding the Rakan engage during all of that. So I think, you know, credit to Athena. His positioning was good in the game. His Vel'Koz was by no means bad throughout that game as well. For me, I look at OMG, we can celebrate that they won. It was a back and forth game. I think BLG maybe should have won, but BLG's composition was the weird thing to me, you know, like, and this is a question that I can't outright answer, but it's more of a like, why did Singed exist again? And why was the Singed not something similar to the Ornn? You know, something that provides BLG either an engage or a better disengage or a zoning tool or a utility. And if you're not going to pick any of those things and you're going to go for the hybrid in Singed, which has just got utility on the W, then why not pick a split pusher, like the Gnar maybe even, and just try and control the lane, the 1v1, go Blade of the Ruined King, outscale, and then still have the teamfight capabilities of a Gnar. It's one of those things that you look at. Gnar was banned in that one, don't get me wrong. It's an example champion. But like the style is missing from BLG through their draft.
Yeah, and as you can see, you can take a look at those bans right there. Actually, I wasn't banned.
Oh, he was banned in game 1.
He was banned in game 1. Yeah,
right,
so there you go. The example was correct. Yeah, just ship the example. It's fine.
Yes.
But no, I totally agree with you. I mean, the thing that was banned was the Darius into the top. You know, that's also a possibility if you're looking for a front line in those team fights. You know, because it seemed like more often than not they were getting engaged on towards the end of the game right there in those big team fights. And even though BLG were on the offensive, it seems like they were still losing a lot of those fights, like especially around Baron, especially around that bot lane. So if they maybe had a front line there that could receive OMG when they were coming and charging at them, then that might have been something.
And we said it was the sword versus the shield, and I think that definitely still rang true through the way that this game played out. You can see the objective was focused by BLG. OMG look forwards, they try and find the engage, and they do find the engage.
Yep.
And they were a single team of units away from maybe even getting an ace in that fight. This game could have accelerated even faster. Yep. But BLG, they get the Baron, they look towards the Elder. There was even a fight in mid lane prior to that Elder being secured where another chaotic fight happened. And all of these fights are happening because OMG are the kind of team to just take the fight. They're compositionally, they're going to take the fight as well. And they look for their moments, they pick their moments, and they do win the last team fight brilliantly in the end.
And you got a sneak peek there because, of course, we are going to take a look at the game-ending team fight there in the bottom lane. And this really was, I mean, you saw it in the last fight coming out from 5, but the setup was here from Xian.
Well, watch 5.
Again, watch 5, yeah.
He's got home guards, he hits the ultimate, so the move speed utility is there. And Xiang hits the ultimate that knocks them down. And, you know, during all of that setup, 5's able to hit it home. And that's one of those, I call it the Hecarim strategy, if you're familiar with that at all.
Yeah.
When you're playing against a Hecarim and you are winning the game, so they're stuck within their base, Hecarim never lanes. He actually sits in the fountain and just keeps home guards on.
Yeah, just running around in the circle.
So it does circles on the fountain. The second you step up to siege, all ins. Gets the move speed bonus from home guards, so it deals extra damage as well and just smashes one of your carries. That to me is that was the Hecarim effect from a Rakan there.
That's fair, yeah. Actually, you know, I just forget some champions exist sometimes because there are so many champions in League of Legends. And then you just don't see them for so long because they pull out the meta and you're like, Hecarim? Who's that? Oh, Hecarim, yeah, I know. Yeah,
the Dark Horse guy that has a pumpkin head.
Yeah. Spectral Riders and all that, yeah. Wonderful. But no, I completely agree with you. You know, that's a way to get into the fight. But that, at least for us, it was the reason why like 5 was one of the strongest players in that game, if not our MVP, because he was just constantly getting the setup. Now, I will say, this was him getting his Rakan very early on to the draft. And this is 5's Rakan at the end of the day. We, you know, noted that he's like one of the best, if not the best Rakan in the league. So like we do expect these things to happen. But in short, maybe, you know, that is some of BLG's, you know, being lax in the draft, for example.
Maybe, yeah. And I mean, we spoke about this at the start of the post-game as well, where we said draft may be an issue here for BLG, and this could be another example of that, because we speak towards their composition, then you look at OMG's composition, and there are some questions, like how did they get X and Y champion? Icon can play Zoe. We now know that Icon can play Zoe better than I even thought Icon can play Zoe. And I felt like that was a denial from Athena, who seemed to have an answer in play with the Vel'Koz. And that was, to me, a lot of BLG's draft, was they were drafting with answers for their opponent's draft, but then in vacuums, take apart the compositions. That is a sick comp from OMG. It's still capable of winning games if you make a single mistake with your own.
And speaking of John Wick in the mid lane, he's going to find out MVP in this one, of course. He was not only the highlight hunter, but he was pretty reliable in doing so as well. He was finding constant picks and constantly covering his face. Last time his eye was hurting. Now it looks like the lower face of his lower face is just hurting. But what was definitely hurting was the enemy team every time he landed the paddle star.
Only missing out on 1 kill, I believe, throughout the game. 92% kill participation and his 3rd MVP. Now, 34% of his team's damage is still a significant amount, given that they had 4 carries running around basically on their team. 3 carries and an Ornn and a Rakan, who deal a lot for themselves regardless as champions. So I do give credit to Icon. We said it afterwards. 5 may be our MVP, but Icon deserves the MVP, and I was not surprised that he picks that one up.
I'm trying to just read what his tattoo says. Oh, forever young. Ah, gotcha.
Yes.
Yeah, you see. I was rotating my head. Like, what does that say? Forever young. Gotcha.
Doing gymnastics next to me. It was very distracting, I might add.
I'm sorry. Yeah, no, but congratulations to Icon. I think he was very deserving of that one. But just know, 5, if you're watching the English broadcast, that from us, you're MVP, of that map. We've got you.
He's not watching.
No, he's not. On the opposite side, though, talking about BLG, I mean, they just got 2-0'd by OMG. I guess they were both 3 and 7 heading into this series, but they just got 2 and 0'd by OMG. I remember we were in the green room earlier, and I was like, Rusty, I just have this feeling today. I don't know what it is. I know it's something I ate, but I just feel like OMG are going to win this series today.
I don't want to talk too much into like the reasons that we spoke about after that particular conversation, but like you're correct, right? You had a feeling OMG won. BLG, they've just beat EDG 2-0.
Yep.
They take Rogue Warriors to 3 games.
Yep.
You're like, all right, this team's starting to warm up. Really,
yeah,
feeling it now. Yeah, this is great. And then they get 2-0 by OMG. So I'm not sure who's feeling what more anymore. What the hell is our league in the standings? It's all a bit confusing to me. BLG, they went from good to bad in a day.
I'm just saying. I'm feeling my tips right now. Anyways, because we are changing venues, we're moving on to Hangzhou from Chengdu. That will start exactly on time since, well, no one's in the arena yet. So those guys are going to start on off at 7 at our time, or rather 5 at our time in China. So it's going to be just under an hour before they start that one off. So we are going to take a short break. I say short, but it's going to be under an hour. You know, it's about
we're taking
50
a break
minutes-ish before that one starts off. So make sure to 59. I just heard almost an hour. If I spoke faster, it would have been exactly on an hour. So sorry about that. But 59 minutes. So come back in 59 minutes, and we'll be here to cast that second game. We'll be me and Rusty as well. So we'll see you soon.
登峰造极，方可声名远扬。侠盗勇士自在威震四方。